All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders like Millstone, who teach very well. While let this truth from his citation out there to the hopeful elect, who continue to push this word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And also, Shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. And today, man, just basically getting and touching on the times that we are in, because America's future is very dim. And it's getting to the point when a lot of these Americans are just accepting the truth, man. Because ultimately, the downfall of this Western society is evident. The people are crazier than ever. You know, if you tell a man that he's a man, and if you tell a woman she's a woman, that's counted as hate speech nowadays, and even past that, the food that we're in, the fall of Esau economy is falling. All these signs are showing you that Yahweh Shai have made Esau's end imminent. You know, real quick, let me get something real quick before we start. Let's get this in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. And I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, even like as all that is made in the world hath the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Yes, so the end of Esau's kingdom and the end of Esau's rulership is manifest. That's the reason why they had a big thing, Make America Great Again. Then Joe Biden came with Build Back Better, not knowing that you would not be able to get that same fame that you had back in the 1950s, man. You would not glorify this beast or beautify this beast as what she once was. No, America has fallen and she will never get back up, man. This is the last go round of the heathen rulership, you know? So guess what? This devil is finna get ready to do any and everything to try to hold on to it. We already know the scriptures, Revelation 12 and 12. This devil is going to come down having great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Because a lot of the plans that these guys is doing is not out of celebration or out of, I'm finna help you out or for American pride. No. It's really an act of desperation. And it's a saying, desperate times calls for desperate measures, man. And a part of those desperate measures is putting out that sea help. So I'm going to continuing on at verse 6. It says, even so, the times of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, endings and effects and signs. Yes, and this is a powerful work, the downfall of Babylon the Great, the downfall of this beast system. As it is written in Revelation, the 13th chapter, who is able to make war with the beast, and the only being that can do that is Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. Even the economic war that this guy is battling with, man. You know? So I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of this article from Safari. It says, fear, fatigue, and finances. America moved heading into 2026. It says Americans are entering 2026 on a cautious note. Now let's go into that word cautious real quick. You know, the word cautious of a person careful to avoid problems or danger. Yeah, so it's dangers ahead and in the future. Again, a lot of jobs are going to get lost. A lot of people are going to be affected. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if it be a famine. And it ain't got to happen here. Niggas are so trapped on the block, 54th Street, 42nd Street. You know what I'm saying? Niggas are so chopped up on the block and they can't see that the Lord is actually making things manifest throughout the whole world. Famines, pestilence, and destruction, that's been happening. The only reason why you people are not concerned about it because it haven't affected you yet. When these plagues hit America, ultimately, it's going to hit America in its perfection. You know, the famine that's happened over there in Yemen is not going to compare to the famine that happened in the West. You know? And Esau knew about that. That's why people are cautious. Now I'm going to read a little bit of this article. It says, it says, you don't need a psychic to tell you that we could be in a rough ride in 2026 right now. And that's the spirit of prophecy, man. But guess what? The signs are manifest. Let's get some real quick in the book of Titus. This is the book of Titus 1, and I'm going to jump down to verse 3. It says, but, it's like, I'm starting at verse 1. It says, Paul, a servant of the Most High, and an apostle of Yahushua Mashiach, according to the faith of the Most High's elect, in the acknowledge of the truth, which is after godliness. And that's really talking about the certain doctrine that you're pushing forth. You know, if you pushing forth a doctrine that you can teach with a hell on, that's not of truth and godliness, man. That's of truth and evilness. You know what I'm saying? You could be breaking down the precepts right, but your mind ain't right. But just going back, Paul had the right doctrine of the Most High. In hope of eternal life, yes, hoping to enter into that new covenant on the first go-round, which the Most High, that cannot lie, promised before the world began. So like the Lord promised us everlasting life, a beautiful rulership, riches and treasures forevermore, the Lord also promised us that he would destroy our enemies before our eyes. Now, let's say people wanted to be dramatic. Yes, it's going to be dramatic at the end, but it's a build up into it, man. Now, the Lord is basically doing foreplay with America. He's in this place economically, in this place in the food. You know, the healthcare is been hit. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is basically prepping this place for a downfall. The agriculture, the road system is messed up. The murder rate is high. You know? So there's really Yahweh Shemawashai breaking this place down. That's a part of the Lord's promises. That's a part of his words being faithful and true. Continuing on. It says, but hath in due times manifested his word through preaching. And that's why it's important to teach this doctrine. Because through you preaching, the words of the Lord will be revealed. How? Let's get this word manifest.
Strong's G 5319. Fanerao. Fanerao.
Going down, it says to make manifest or visible or known what has been hidden or unknown. Yes, man. It was unknown for a while what was Babylon the Great. It was unknown for a while what the mark of the beast was. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, starting out with the apostles on down, and youngest brothers like myself, then guess what? The scriptures have been revealed. The understanding have been revealed. Let's get something real quick. This is the book of Colossians 3, and I'm going to jump down. Is that Colossians? I think it's 1. Colossians 1, and I'm going to start at verse... Yep, I'm starting at verse 25. Colossians 1 and 25. It says, wherefore I am made a minister according to the dispensation of the Most High. Yes, because the Lord, he dispersed the Holy Spirit. It says, which is given to me for you to fulfill the word of the Most High. Yes, to push forth the work. Again, so the world, so the Lord can be manifest. Continuing on, even the mystery even the mystery which have been hid from ages. Yes, even who are the Israelites? You know, that was hid from ages. Now, men is popping up on the street corners with the understanding of it. Continuing on, it says, even the mystery that have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest into his saints. So again, that word manifest, it says to be made known, because not everybody can see it, but the only ones that have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's why, again, it says to made manifest into who? The saints, not everybody. Continuing on, it says to make actual visible, to make known by teaching, by prophesying, man. And that's what a lot of these guys have been turning their back on, prophecy. There's a lot of things that's going on in the world, and niggas are just worrying about stupid things. Niggas say, yeah, it's a problem with Hebrew, but you got a Hebrew name. You can change your Hebrew name up. You know your Hebrew name is Hawashai. You ain't gonna change it to Yahushua. No, Hushua, Hosea. You know. No, you're going to keep your name like Assad and Hakah. You know, but at the same time, it just shows you that only the ones that are part of that righteous number, this word have been manifested unto them. You know, let's go ahead and continue on. Jumping down, it says to become known, to be plainly recognized thoroughly understand. Yes, it says to be plainly recognized. So what does that mean? Oh, those men said that. Oh, that's in the Bible. Hey, that's how, and that's a saying that people are going to say more and more. Oh, that's in the Bible. Once they hear the stories about World War III, the destruction, but even the evil times, mad men sparing none, the ravishing of women, the famine, the dogs, the terror, even how the Lord visit Egypt, he's going to visit America the same way. So again, that's in the Bible is going to be a famous term here in these latter days. Why? Because we are still in the Bible times. We are actually in the perfection of the Bible times, man. We're coming into the perfection of the Bible times. Why? Because we're coming into the time where the Lord will come and visit us upon the planet Earth, man. And again, those signs that tell us that Yahweh Shema Shai is on his way is what? The signs. And again, going back into this article, it says fear, fatigue, and finances, America's mood heading into 2026. Again, so it's looking very dim for the Western Hemisphere, man. But damn right, this place need to be taken down. Continuing on, you don't need no psychic to tell you that we could be in a rough ride in 2026. Of course, they are not slowing down in ESP rigid one little bit, as the internet is rife with bleak predictions of global conflict and economic ups and downs. Now, why is it economic ups and downs? And why is it globally? Because America actually controls the world currency. You have to realize, man, if America then have control of that petrodollar, this guy won't have the same muscle, for the lack of better words. He won't have the same control. But guess what? Him being control of the petrodollar is actually the fulfillment of Job 9:24, what the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So let's go ahead and read a little bit more of this. Right here, nearly half of Americans said they are more stressed heading into 2026 than they were at the beginning of 2025, according to 2026 New Year's resolution study. So it's been the study that people are stressed. Why? Because they know that America is going down and they don't know what to do. Ultimately, the will of the Lord haven't been made manifest unto them. So now they're confused, for the lack of better words. But again, the water Yahweh Shema Shai for giving us the understanding, man. Let's go ahead and continue on. It says those feeling more pressured cited costs to day-to-day expenses, low income and efficient emergency funds, too much debt, high health care costs, and lack of job security. Let's go ahead and read this one more time. It says those that are more pressured cited costs to day-to-day, because basically everything is increasing, whether it be by 5 cents or 10 cents. You got to realize, man, let's say if something was 99 cents or even something was $1. You go in the next day and it's $1.10. People say, yeah, it's 10 cents, but that's a 10% increase, man. So that's like if something was $1,000, now it's $1,100, man. You have to scale things. But again, that scale just shows you that all these prices are rising up little by little. Let's go ahead and continue on. It says healthcare costs and lack of job security in particular rose significantly from last year. So guess what? People losing their jobs and health issues, man. That's how a lot of people are going to get taken. I'm not giving any doctor advice or anything like that, but a lot of people are going to be taken out through health issues. They don't take care of their body. You and through the spirit, man. That's why even in this truth, Apostle Ha always push forth, you gotta know the herbs. You gotta realize, man, those wise men in the Bible, there was prophets and things like that, but it wasn't just like they were just wise because nigga knew big words. No, he was wise in the herbs and all that, man. So when you get sick, you can heal yourself in a sense, man. But yeah, man, that's just pretty much that. Just going into how the job security is hanging over these people's head. People are living paycheck to paycheck, and ultimately people are living week to week with the job. Don't be surprised if the temp service be flooded with a lot of people. But again, I just pray that this video was edifying to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakudah.